There's the point that I'm making here, and I hope that you understand this. When it comes to assisting others, when it comes to helping individuals, it's not just about being there. Johnny Fontana, Real World INFJ. We are back with another video. This one's actually going to be kind of long, so unwind, take out your beer, put me on pause for a moment, and it's going to be an exciting journey. It's going to be an up and down ride, and I think some of you may enjoy it, hopefully. But I want you to get ahead and just relax, right? Prepare yourself. Put the kids away. Kiss the cats. And we're gonna get to it, right? I got my drink out. My specialty is tequila with the hint of grenadine. That's my beverage of choice. Actually, we'll have to get do a video on how substances affect my mind in terms of what liquor I prefer. I prefer tequila with grenadine, the sugar. It helps me. I don't have it with Coke or anything like that. I take it with grenadine. Just because of the fact that it gives me that rush, and it also helps my mind open up, as opposed to the whiskey base, the rum base, which just basically just shuts me down a little bit. I become a little bit more sleepy, tired. It's a little bit more of a heady type of effect, rather versus the tequila. For me, it gives me an overall sense of well-being, right? And it's like a body high rather than it's like beer. Sort of like beer, but just beer is just too heavy. You end up with a gut. Speaking of gut, let me give you a story real quick. We're gonna talk about depression and dealing with real world big personalities. And I think you'll start to understand, again, like each video I make, it's because I'm like sort of like building a block, but I'm not doing it purposely. It's just, right? Because I have a theme. My theme is self-reflect, okay, the need to get away from that, the 99%, and big picture, right? And being able to sort of relate in a real world setting rather than within your own self. So, let me start with the story. I was living in Florida. It's not a long story, so you can take it easy on that. I'm a personal trainer, certified personal trainer, and I was working in Florida, and I had my smoothie shop that I ran, but I also performed as a personal trainer, and I conducted classes, right, core classes, and different group exercise classes. So one of my clients that I'll always remember, and this is why I actually became a personal trainer. I didn't really understand. Again, for us, those who identify with the INFJ, you don't realize certain things until later. You're like, that aha moment. And I'm sure many of you understand that. You just need that triggering factor, right? And hopefully that's what I'm doing to you guys. I'm helping you, right? To all these real world experiences I'm providing to you, hopefully that's triggering something in you that could say, ah, and then you make that move. So what really made me fall in love with personal training, helping others, right? Is just when this lady, she came and she applied for a package, right? For a personal training package. So they recommended me. She was in the allied health field. She was a dental assistant. She came to me and she says, Johnny, at the time my name was Johnny 5, right? She says, Johnny, I have a problem. I have a herniated disc. I've had surgery. And she mentioned the S4 or S5 or whichever disc. I'm not versed in medical terminology. I'm sure some of you are. Some of you intellects. I'm playing. Tonight's gonna be a good night. So she says, I cannot go to the supermarket and pick up rice because she's just to give you a visual, right? She's from Venezuela originally, and so basically, you know, her family eats a lot of rice and so forth. And she says whenever she goes to the supermarket, the rice is at the bottom shelf, and she has a hard time bending down because of her herniated disc and so forth. She says, I can't reach up when I'm home. I can't reach up to the cupboards to place the dishes or to pick things out from the cupboards. She says, I can't even do any planting, any gardening. And so, you know, I went on to ask her certain questions as far as, you know, how she saw herself, just the basic, you know, packages in order to lure her into buying a package. And at the time, again, it wasn't really about helping people. It was basically making money, because at the time I had lost my job previously, so I had gone to school for personal training because I know that's what I had known while I was in the military. So I used that opportunity. But again, as you get involved, you start making connections. Boom, boom. You start realizing your self-worth. I'm not undermining anyone. I'm just saying, you know, as I say things, it's not to undermine you. It's just my personality. So don't take offense to it. So, put her on a program, and after 3 months, she left me. She literally broke up with me. And she then began to participate in the Zumba classes that, you know, it was Florida, South Florida. We were near Miami, so you had a lot of Venezuelans, Colombians, Cubans, and there were a lot of housewives who, you know, the wealthy housewives. It was the western part of southern Florida, and they enjoyed their Zumba classes and so forth. So she wanted to be part of that, and so she broke up with me, and she started participating in these classes. And to most people, it's like, oh man, that's my client. I'm losing money. But for me, I was proud. I was happy that I was able to take someone who couldn't function, and after 9 months of just hard work and dealing with stuff that I didn't like, you know, internal organs, science and math, and you know, learning about biology and physiology and just crazy stuff, it all came to And that's when I knew that it all had paid off. That I wasn't in it to take the young guys on and make them look like models. No. That wasn't it. It was about helping those who really needed it. Those who couldn't perform daily functions, such as being able to go to the supermarket and pick up a bag of rice. Do some home gardening to make your home look presentable. You can't even do that. So the fact that whatever she decided to do as a result of us, but to me, I'm not a judger. I stand back and you do what you want to do. I accept you for who you are. So there's no judgment on my part, right? So she got her wings and she was able to play. Anyway, forget about it. Forget it. Anyway, the point of this video, moving forward, is that, again, we're going to talk about the 99%, talk about how things come together. I think it was Sunday night. I was doing some research. Again, just random research. Okay, I'm always doing research. And I went into a forum, to an INFJ forum, which I don't like. This is honest. I don't like going to INFJ forums. I don't. Because, again, I'm not judging, but I find that it's just a disservice to a lot of people. Anyway. So I go into a forum, and one post that stood out to me was, why are broken people drawn to me? Obviously, you can do your own research. I'm not lying to you. You can do your own research on. There are but only a few, forums. And someone wrote that how they were drawn, or that broken people were drawn to them, and they wanted to know, the ideas and get the responses from other people who have possibly dealt with that or experienced broken people being drawn to them. And the individual who posted was like, hey, listen, these people are drawn to me, and maybe possibly because I'm broken myself. And the responses were just of, guess what? We spoke about previously. Say it with me. Self-reflect. Everything was, I have this, and so forth, and I've dealt with this, and whatever. And there were other posts as well, but the point that I'm trying to make is that there were no posts about how to deal with these individuals who are drawn to you. How do you help people who are depressed, who are broken? What are you going to do? If you're broken yourself, how are you going to help others? This is the main point that I'm trying to establish. So I went on, do more research, because I was upset. I even posted, and I posted well. Okay, I posted well, because it's not about us. Okay, it's not about self-reflect. So I went on to do more research. Went on YouTube. Went on Google. How to cope, how to help, how to deal with the depressed. Friends, obviously, as someone who's dealing with other people, how to engage with these type of individuals. And the majority of the content that I was met with was you have to be there for them. You have to be a shoulder to cry on. You have to in this one video, you have to eat cake with them. Invite them over, eat with them, have some food. There's certain foods that are antidepressants. You know, there's research that's been done, stated that these foods have antidepressant, chemicals. And for me, I'm like, okay, I've been around the world, going back to my previous experiences, again, not tooting my horn. Most of the people that I know in the real world would laugh in your face. Actually, you know what? If you told them that, hey, let's go and eat cake, they'd probably, their depression would just go away right then and there. I swear. Listen, really, because they laugh so hard in your face. So I continued to do some research, and I fell upon some individuals that I frequently watch, and I also fell upon Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is like one of those people where you binge on the guy, but you really don't go anywhere. Like, people just watch him and they love posting. Again, as an INFJ, you know this. People just love posting. He gave me that. Like, they just love the fact that everyone now is involved in watching, because it's like now you have a whole group of people who are just down on themselves. They're depressed. Okay, and I feel for these people. Listen, I feel for you. But now we get together as a group and we're listening to Jordan Peterson. We're not going to do anything with our lives, but together as a group, sharing that one common goal of watching and binging on Jordan Peterson. That's to the extent of what we take it. So, moving forward now. Monday, I met with someone. I was running, I'm preparing for just my own goals. So in a month or so, I'm going to, test myself, time my run. I was thinking about doing a marathon, possibly. But I was on track, indoor track, and someone was just running. I was conversational pace, but this guy was actually running hard. And afterwards, I went to the median space, and I was just resting. I was gonna do some push-ups, sit-ups, stretching, and he came by, and so I asked him. I struck up a conversation with the young fellow, and I said, "Hey, bro, wanted to know your tactics, and I went on with what I was doing, my program, and I wanted to compare it with his, and basically we went down the rabbit hole." And he went on to mention how his girlfriend is, into working out. However, she needs to be, accountable. And he mentioned the fact of, setting a routine and, being accountable, for that, whatever that you're doing, and so forth and so on. And then that's when I came in and I said, bro, I've been doing some research, and you know me, I'm going to talk. Like, if you give me the ear, you start going down. You know how it is. Someone gives you that ear, it's like diarrhea of the mouth. It's like, oh, really? Okay, so let's go there. Because you know how you can sense like if someone's there, because we were like for an hour, seriously. So, but usually like you get that good vibe, and okay, there's potential there. You might stick a little something there. Does he have it? Or does she have it? And if she does, hey, let's come back. And now you feel compelled to engage and go deeper. It says, okay, the drapes, curtains are down. Let's go. So I said, brother, I've been doing some research. And I said, I'm just I couldn't even explain myself at the time. I said, bro, I'm at a point right now where I'm doing some research in terms of people who are depressed, holding accountability of their actions and others, and you, as being a supporting or a supporter for your girlfriend, you're telling her she needs to be accountable, right? You're pushing her, not pushing her, to the point where, but you are supporting her, but providing her guidance beyond just, hey, it's okay, let's have cake. And I said, that's incredible. That's wonderful. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be providing your expertise, because he was actually a boxer. He's a professional boxer. Come to find out that that's why he was timing himself and so forth. And so he says, yeah, like I need to ensure that she's doing what she said she would be doing, which is working out and keeping a program. So I need to inspect what I expect. That's a new one. I'll probably say it again in future videos. Inspect what you expect. So he said to me, it's incredible how just by me being there and just giving her the right guidance, not pushing her too hard, not too soft, but the right guidance with proper education, proper will, proper fortitude. It's just like night and day. And then I went on to him and I said, listen, that's one of the things that it's so interesting, because when you are online and you're trying to find information, because I'm the one that's doing the research, right? But then it's like others may be seeking that information. I'm doing the research, others are seeking, but they're met with that, while I'm like, are you kidding me? But they have no other choice, because they're in that mindset. So now they're receptive to the eating the cakes and just being there. And you know what he told me? He says, Johnny, it's that PC culture. It's that PC culture where we have to be very, very careful in how we approach people. And he went on to, discuss other things. And I said, you know what? That is so true. However, today, this is where we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the video. Again, you'll understand my 99%. Things just so happen to fall into place. I'm not psychic, I don't have these powers, but I have a lot of coincidences. Like just little coincidences that just pop up and you just can't deny them. So today, I went for a meeting. I haven't gone to that meeting. It's every Thursday. I haven't gone to that meeting, the morning meeting, for about close to 3 weeks now. So I went to that meeting because the holidays, Christmas, New Year's. So, and I met up with a friend of mine, co-worker. And I said, hey, how you doing? How's everything? And immediately started going off. And there's certain individuals, if you can identify with me, certain individuals, you approach them just for the sake of approach. Because it's like, okay, I'm trying to be nice. I don't really jive with you, but certain individuals, like you really care, like you really have established a working relationship, a spiritual relationship, just someone that you could just sit down and talk to. You may not see each other outside of work or outside of whatever your endeavors are, whether you're in, performance art or, whatever. But you just don't see each other. But when you do, it's like, hey, let's politic, let's discuss, let's talk. And so I say, hey, what's up? How's everything? And immediately And I guess because of the fact that I'm that type that in our working environment, I'm the one that's going to say, hey, how's everything? But it's not just, hey, what's up? How's everything? It's, no, really, how is everything? Like, it's sincere. He went off at the mouth. I can't deal with that anymore. I'm depressed. I don't know how I can hold up anymore. Thinking about leaving the government job. Mind you, this guy's a veteran. Crossover from a veteran, retired. Now he's behind the desk, administration. Killing him. And remember what I discussed with you when it comes to the differences between the intellects versus those who work with their hands, those who are, okay? Matter of fact, let's go to a clip real quick. Producer, cut one, go.
I originally was a deputy sheriff in the state of New York, as well as a corrections officer. I've been a truck driver, tractor trailer driver, forklift operator, warehouse manager, auto parts delivery driver, landscaper, caretaker, actor, stuntman, on-air personality. I've done so many things since I've been here in Florida, just to try to maintain my residence.
But there's no jobs out there, is what you're saying.
There is absolutely nothing out there right now. You have to understand that in my line of work, that I'm one of the first ones to go to work in the field of construction. If we don't go in and clear the land, the homes aren't being built, the concrete doesn't get laid, the roofs don't go on, carpet doesn't get installed, drywall doesn't go in, plumbing doesn't go in, electrical doesn't go in. Right now there's more people who have a trade background with hands-on that are out of work than anybody else. If there is any kind of recovery or stimulus going on, it's not happening in our field. A lot of us, when we were younger, we went through high school, we went into college, and from that point we decided, did we want to have a white-collar job or a blue-collar job? Some of us enjoy working with our hands. It seems like anybody who works with their hands basically is out of work because nothing is happening anywhere. I just hope that the economy does pick back up. I feel for a lot of these folks that are out there who have lost their homes and won't have Christmases, have lost their vehicles, lost their life savings, everything that they've invested, their 401ks, things to that effect. I hope it all comes around very, very soon, because the way the country is going right now, we're becoming a third world country very, very fast.
Okay, so now you see what I'm talking about in terms of how, when I tell you that there's a line, there's certain people that just gravitate from one type of job, which is that blue-collar labor type, and a lot of them are good with their hands, dealing with heavy equipment, dealing with just carpentry, home improvement, right? They're good with their hands. You put them in these environments because he could say, hey, I'm out of a job, but guess what? Let me go to some admin job. That's not what he is all about. Are you starting to understand and make the connections now? You cannot put this guy behind a desk. He will go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, he won't perform to his fullest potential. So anyway, the guy goes on. And I went out to him and I said, in one of my previous videos, I mentioned how psychologists really don't understand the real world, because many of them are, by the book. You know what the guy told me? He says, you're so right. He says, for me, growing up, I got shot. I died twice. My heart stopped for a few seconds, running the streets in St. Louis, Missouri. He says, I've been through it all. He says, that stuff doesn't bother me. But they don't understand that, right? They say, it has nothing to do with your childhood, Fine, whatever. He says, but in reality, it doesn't really bother me. I told him it doesn't bother me, so that's why they told me, it has nothing to do with your childhood. He says, you know what bothers me though? What really scares me is the fact that I'm starting to black out. Things are happening and I don't remember. He says, last night a few nights ago, I performed a love tap, repeatedly with my wife. And my wife, the next morning, says, "Hey, darling, how come you didn't finish what you started?" Like, what are you talking about? Literally, he could not remember engaging with his wife, tapping her, touching her, being physical with her. He says he would wake up sometimes at night where he would aggressively try to engage with his wife, okay, intimately in the bed. And then the wife would say, no, I'm not done. And he would be a little bit more forceful. Not to the point of going beyond, okay? But still, a little bit, aggressive. She would say, no, no, and whatever. She would resist. And then he would just turn over and go right to sleep. As if he was, sleepwalking or whatever. The next morning, she would tell him, and he would not even remember. He says, "I'm scared because I have weapons in the house. Guns. Vegas, Everyone loves their guns in Vegas, right? Listen, there's nothing wrong. It has nothing to do with that, so don't even go there. I'm going for my license as well, so. But he says, I'm scared. He says, as a matter of fact, I had to even sell a weapon, a gun, to someone, to one of our coworkers, because he's scared, literally. He says, I'm thinking of just I'm done with this. Like I don't feel like coming to work. I'm just stressed out. Like all this stuff, I'm running around doing this and doing that. I'm just done. Mind you, the guy is full of soul. Everyone loves the guy. He's a joker. He does something on YouTube. He has like about a month ago, 2 months ago, he was planning on doing a YouTube channel. He was like, hey, doing this, I'm doing that. I've been recording myself, and now to hear him in this state. So immediately, I went to the division chief and I said, listen, we have a problem. Let me talk to you for a moment. Because he was, in a different office, and I put him aside. Hey, we got individuals. He's talking crazy, saying some stuff. We need to address it. The reason why is because a few weeks back, we had a suicide case. Okay, so I'm being proactive now. What struck me was that the way he responded was like, okay, all right. Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, me, myself, and the other division chief would have a chat with him. Then he walked off. No, so what else did he say? Talk to me, I'm not going to go further into details in terms of his personality and what he has said to me in the past, because after the incident, after the incident of dealing with the suicide, he came around to different sections and he wanted to make sure everything was okay. And so I started asking him questions. So I want to know how are you? Because you're the division chief. You're always asking how everyone else is. I want to know how you are doing. And he said, you know what? It's funny because coming here, because he had just recently moved here, he says, I'm now self-reflecting and realizing that all this stuff is hitting closer to home. And before, I've never really been affected by this stuff. It's always been like, oh, whatever. But now it's close to home. Now I'm really feeling it. So you can tell, these guys are just like walls. They don't feel anything. There's the point that I'm making here, and I hope that you understand this. When it comes to assisting others, when it comes to helping individuals, it's not just about being there. That's why for me, I have all these experiences by default, but you know what? At some point, I gotta give up that excuse. It's not by default. I did it because I'm an INFJ, and that's what I'm all about. Getting experiences and internalizing all my experiences so that I can just provide it to those who I am met with. Prime example, somebody came to me and discussed, a situation. Person came, was dark in a dark space. This person is actual a painter. And dark space. And I could have just been like, oh, I'm here for you. Here you go, let's go have cake. But I didn't. I said, I went on because, again, I'm a DJ, I understand art, I like graffiti coming from New York, so I understand these. So I was able to politic with this individual, not in the elitist way, right, of speaking about art, because I'm not an elitist art fanatic, but still, I was able to provide this person, hey, what do you think about doing this? What do you think about this and this? And immediately the person's eyes lit up. It was like, you know what? I really didn't think about that. Yo, Johnny, thank you so much. Now, whether or not the person is going to actually follow through or not, but it's up to me now to follow through and say, hey, you said you were going to. What have you done so far? Give me numbers. Don't just say, hey, I'm going to do it, and just have that immediate preconditioned blur of inspiration. That's my term, preconditioned blur. We'll discuss it later on down the lines. And I said, no, I want to see, so tomorrow you let me know some goals. And sure enough, the person from some goals, we're tracking, let's just follow up. But had I been limited in my experiences, I would not be able to provide all of this information. Are you following me? I'm going to end this video with someone who I follow. And I'm going to set it up. He's an ENFJ. And he's someone who actually recently passed 2 years ago. But I follow him, and I follow his wisdom. I followed, and I still continue to as well. But I want to stress to you, individuals who are in that space where you feel that there is no other path. Do not collect broken souls. Do not use others as a means to relate. Do not be involved in that ever-ending cycle of like, I am broken, I am joining other broken souls, and together we're broken. Get out of that cycle. Fix yourself. Find a mentor. Find someone who's going to be patient enough to deal with you. Not only provide you that shoulder and eat cake with you, but at the same time says, hey, here's an idea. Why don't you consider this? And then follow through on that conversation. Okay? And for you, those of you who are stable, who are in a position where you have overcome these life challenges, you now have a responsibility. It doesn't matter what predicament. It could be you seeking advice from a potential client, or you as a client seeking assistance from someone else. And without any, as you call, without any forecast or pre-knowledge of who this person is, that person starts to unload on you their troubles. You have a responsibility to assist them. Not personally, doesn't have to be personally, but to provide them with a guided path, to at least someone who's medically fit to assist this individual. Do not just say, hey, I came to you for this, you're unloading on me. This is not what I signed up for, therefore I am going to exit right. Don't do that. Not saying that you have to be the person who is that guiding light, but at least figure out a way. Because when you deal with these big time personalities, okay, like the individual previously in the video, he was a police officer, he was a heavy equipment operator, he worked in homes, he's a plumber, he's all this stuff. Guess what? Because of my experiences as a police officer, because of me in the military dealing with these individuals, because of me being in the government working as a white collar, I have resources. Not only do I have resources, I have the ability to do the research and find solutions that's going to put that person in a better place. I'm not going to give that person money. I'm not going to give him a room. I'm not going to, do things for him that otherwise would now place me and my family in an awkward, right, situation. I would not compromise my own, financial situation. However, I would find a solution, okay, in order for that person now to say, hey, there's an opportunity. There's that door. Let me walk through it. If that person chooses not to, there's nothing more that I can do. Because you are your own person. You've been given the opportunity. You've been given the chance. You now have the options. You are well and able to take it. And if you don't, then it's on you. And we have to understand that. We cannot save everyone, especially those who are not willing to put forth the effort.
How do we keep the motivation alive, guys? One is, you gotta get a partner, right? I'm gonna give you 5 things. You gotta get a partner, you gotta track your results, you've got to find an event, in a future event that makes today reliable and accountable. 4, you've got to find a new atmosphere at times, okay? And I'll go into what that means. And the 5th thing is you got to have the right plan of attack. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't take on too much. So let's dive into that. I'm going to go as fast as I can here. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the mental attitude, on how to really take the fat out of not your body, but out of fucking life, guys. Because if you guys mentally believe you can do it, your body will find a way to fucking make it happen for you. If you guys have any doubt, it's too fucking hard. Seriously, guys, if you guys have any doubt you guys can't win this war, don't even try it. Because it's going to take everything you have to do it. And once you do that transformation, guys, the golden egg lasts forever. You will never lose it, I promise you that. But if you have any self-doubt, or you're relying too much on external factors to keep you motivated, you don't have the right fire in the tank, don't even try it, guys. You're wasting your time because you'll never make it across the finish line. And then what's going to happen is you're going to feel like a failure for it. Another failure on the bad list, another one. So all of a sudden my confidence level's coming down to fucking nothing. I'm just like, fuck it. Done. Nice life. How do we stay motivated, guys? 1, get a partner. Champions come in pairs of 2 because they battle themselves into perfection. A partner is not only an asset to you on the physical side, but also the mental side. Meaning, when you guys are coming home from work or something, or maybe the wife is just fucking yelling at you too much and that's driving you into a migraine, or the kids are just, it's just one of those days, the boss is on your ass and you're just like, fuck man, I just need to go to the bar or something, Well, if you have a partner, your partner's gonna be calling you, hey man, ready to hit the gym? You're like, dude man, I just had a long day and everything else, I'm just not feeling it, man, I'm not going to the gym, And so you let him down. Now, we can all fool ourselves and bury the real truth inside of us of why we're not going, right? And kid ourselves for whatever bullshit reasons of these excuses that mean nothing, but we'll give them value, we'll give them weight to make us not go. So we can fail on our own account. But you gotta be a really low motherfucker to fail when somebody's relying on you. Very few people will do that. When you make a commitment, a verbal, written commitment to somebody, your word should mean something to them. When they call you up and say, hey, let's go, and you're like, dude, man, I'm not into it, man, I'm not into it. Wow, so you're not into it, not only affects you, but also affects someone else's state. No, what's going to happen is that guy's going to pull you into the gym, drag your ass through the workout even though you didn't want to, and by expending that energy at a tired state, you're going to come out of the gym with a sense of pride, relief, or, more found energy, like, wow, man, that felt good. Now you're going to go back into your problems that you didn't want to go to the gym because they're overwhelming, and you're going to look at them differently. Now all of a sudden you're going to see the problems with solutions because your mind's in it. You're thinking smarter. You're thinking more of the glass half full instead of half empty, And you're going to find remedies and solutions to those fucking problems. Makes for a better day. Combine that for a couple of them, good week, good month, good year. Also, partner's really key because you're gonna hit failure, right? The partner's gonna have to use force reps, 3-4 reps. That's gonna push you past failure. Where you're gonna feel that high, wow, I just fucking did it. You're gonna feel that pump, you're gonna feel alive. On top of that, you guys are gonna go through the same workout routines, right? Now, person A, let's say Joe, is gonna go to person B, John, and say, man, I'm not really feeling it, John. Are you feeling it? And John might be like, yeah, man, I'm totally feeling it. And then Joe will be like, wow, well, John, you know what I'm doing wrong? Yeah, I think you're doing it this way. Let me try that. Oh yeah, now I feel it. So you guys can push and pull off each other on what is working, what isn't working, so you can find a mental strength. Or you're like, hey man, John, hey, I'm really feeling this, but you know what, I'm not seeing the results as much. What's your diet like? What are you doing? Well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you guys start comparing each other, And you guys start feeding off what is working, what isn't working, because you guys are a team. Every time you point your finger at something and say, oh, it's that fault, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. So the first thing you gotta do to fix something is evaluate yourself, see what's up. Do the pros and cons and everything. And when I say the pros and cons and everything, I'm talking about environments and people. Find out who you're associating with. If those people add something to you, if they give you something in return, or is it all just a give and take, meaning like they just take and then you give? That's a bad relationship, man. Get the negative energy out of your fucking life. These people that you're around, they're always complaining and everything else. They're taking part of your soul. You only have so much to give every single day. Why waste it on that, guys? When the plane's going down, they always say, you gotta put your gas mask on before you can don it on a kid. Why do they say that? Because you're no good to that fucking kid if you're dead. You gotta love yourself in order to love somebody else, guys. You gotta be whole and happy with who you are if you never help somebody else out. People say, oh, it's selfish to just care about yourself. Well, if you need some fixing and reworking, it's not selfish, because you can get yourself better and then be able to really lend a hand in an honest way to somebody to really help them out. Anyone that's around you guys that's been for the last couple of years that's always complaining and this and that, kick them to the fucking curb, man. And if you guys are in an environment, a bad work situation, you just don't want to leave it because you're like, oh, it's tough out there and everything else, but this fucking work environment is making me a psycho, and I come home and I just want to yell and scream, and it's a bad home environment now because of my work environment, get that fucker out of there. It might be hard for a couple of weeks, but either way, you'll find a new path, a new energy, and you'll find a sense of life again. And the last thing, take an honest look about what's going on in your life. What's working, what isn't working. What isn't working, really examine it. Find out what you're doing to cause it, okay? And if it's not you causing it and you honestly think it's something else or someone just holding you back, guys, as much as it might hurt, cut them loose, man. Cut them loose. You're going to find such more growth and opportunity, and you become a better person, stronger person, where you're really able to help them if you want to later in life.